Woof woof. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Welcome to GadgetDog Daily. Happy Friday, kids. What's going on? Friday, November 21st, 2008. Welcome back to you, James Mowry. What's up, Junior? How's everybody doing today? Welcome to GadgetDog Daily, a production of PhoneDog TV. I'm Noah from PhoneDog.com. Happy it's Friday. Happy it's sunny out here at the PhoneDog West offices. And very, very happy that you have joined us. What's up, Scratch? What's up, Reshaw Butler? What's up, David D? James Mowry, freezing cold. Where you at? What's up, Jordan? Jordan09. What's up, Phone Master? Master. Yeah, no, Berthasar, no upcoming Sprint phones. I, in fact, was told point blank their holiday lineup is out. That's what they told me. First off, an apology to everybody, Scratch included. I had promised yesterday that I would have a new phone for you. I actually do have a new phone for you. But this isn't the one I thought I was going to have. I got a call yesterday afternoon saying, hey, that thing that we told you you could talk about tonight, starting at midnight Pacific time, can't talk about it. And I got to value my relationships with the people who send me these things. But so I had to honor that. But let me put it to you this way. If you're on Verizon and you want a smartphone, don't buy the Storm just yet. Hold tight, because for my money, the other Verizon smartphone that's coming out soon, it's the Omnia. I mean, you've seen it. You've seen it on other websites. They've been talking about the Omnia. And I'm not saying that the phone I have I can't talk about is the Omnia, but I am saying that apparently the Omnia is coming out soon. Apparently the Omnia will keep the 3G, the Wi-Fi, the 5-megapixel camera, the camcorder, all that stuff. And I think, you know, if you want to buy a Verizon smartphone, you should hold out, because I am not impressed with the Storm so far. I'll get to that a little more in a minute. But the Omnia, you know, could be kind of cool, so hold on for that. All right, what's going on in the world of gadgets today? First off, this is a little disconcerting. I got an email from Verizon Wireless, and apparently Maximus over on Just Another Mobile Phone blog got a hold of the same email because they posted about it. But President-elect Barack Obama's mobile phone account with Verizon Wireless has been breached. Verizon Wireless said on Thursday that some employees had gained unauthorized access and viewed a personal cell phone account held by President-elect Barack Obama. A couple things about this. It was not a BlackBerry. It's on record that that President-elect Obama, I'm talking about the President-elect of the United States, just so everybody knows, that President-elect Obama is addicted to his BlackBerry, and that he probably won't be allowed to bring his Curve to the Oval Office, or even the Bold, because I'm sure he can get a Bold if he wanted to, because of security concerns and stuff like that. So his BlackBerry was not breached, but his regular Verizon Wireless cell phone, apparently some folks gained access to his cell phone records who should not have gained access to it. Verizon has said, quote, we were notified yesterday that employees had accessed the records of an old cell phone no longer in use. Or I'm sorry, this is an Obama aide who said this. No voice or emails were listened to or read. The company said the device in question was a simple voice phone, not a BlackBerry or other device designed for email or other data services. So yeah, perhaps, you know, even more fuel for the fire. That when you're sending an email, when you're making a voice call, you know, when you're doing anything besides talking to somebody face-to-face in person, you know, not to be overly paranoid, but just before you hit send, think about, would you really want the contents of this message broadcast to the whole world? Because it is possible. You know, all things digital wind up, somebody's got access to them besides you. And, you know, luckily in this case, nothing was breached. Most of the time, you know, people see these records, they don't care or whatever. Will you get fired for watching this at work, Shadowless? I don't know, ask your boss. Anyway, so, you know, word to the wise, if it's a super sensitive email, you don't want your girlfriend to see the email you're sending to that cute girl who lives down the street, don't send it. Just go talk to her in person. In other news, this is crazy. There's a post over on Crunch Gear. Somebody took a Nerf gun and a toy chainsaw and turned it into a full-on Lancer straight out of Gears of War. Now, I'm not a hardcore gamer at all. I mean, I'm a casual gamer. So if anybody out there is a Gears of War player, you can tell me. I'll blow this up so you can see it a little better. You tell me, is this a good replica of the Lancer from Gears of War, or is this bogus? Anybody know? What do y'all think? James Mowry, are you a gamer there? iApple, you guys know? iApple, you play Gears of War? What do you think? It looks pretty good, Mowry. Reshaw, yeah? Yeah, all right, yeah. So somebody took the Nerf gun and hooked it up with a toy chainsaw, and there's another photo on Crunch Gear you can go over and see. It's got the lights and everything on it. Crazy. I almost wasn't going to post about this because I'm not a big advocate of violence, you know. It's more fun when people are alive, frankly. You can do a lot more when you're not injured, trust me. But if you head over to Crunch Gear, there's another photo on there with the lights and everything on it. It's crazy. People are very clever and can do all kinds of stuff. And it's fun to see that people are doing it. American know-how, as the Crunch Gear post says, you know. Americans can build things. American ingenuity is not dead. Finally, speaking of ingenuity, I still subscribe to Wired magazine. Sometimes I'm not sure why. And I just got their kind of year-end issue with their holiday gear guide and their best devices of the year and all that kind of stuff. And the Peak email device was #1. Now, frankly, this is what I have to say. I have not used the Peak device, so I can't speak as authoritatively as I might. But I don't get it. $100 for the device, you know, fine. $20 a month, and all it is email. And email is great, but for $20 a month, you could add messaging to your phone plan if you have a cell phone. And I'm guessing if you're going to carry around a device to have mobile email, you're probably somebody who's also going to want a mobile cell phone. So, you know, like on T-Mobile, which more or less offers the best bang for your buck in terms of, you know, add-on services. Not saying they have the best service, but in terms of value, you can add a messaging plan that'll give you access to email for $10. Now, it might not be as good as the Peak email experience, but for $20 a month, you can get a whole data plan, and you can get a device. I mean, get a Pantech Slate on AT&T, or get a BlackBerry. You know, I don't get it, but I haven't used the Peak. And if anybody has used the Peak, you know, let me know. But Jordan, take it easy, man. I'll get you in a second. Sidekick 08. I don't know. Peak, Wired, the best gadget of the year? Seriously? I don't know. There's kind of a cool gadget in there that I want to check out. My wife's a big gardener, and we have a nice garden in the backyard. And there's this gadget that you stick into the ground, and it analyzes your soil. And then you plug it in. It's got a USB port on the other end, and you plug it into your computer, and it automatically looks up in a database to analyze your soil and tell you, you know, relative to where you live and the weather conditions and all this kind of stuff, how your soil's doing. That's pretty cool. I think that's kind of that sounds to me like a better device than the Peak email device. I don't know. All right, let's take a quick look through the chat room here so we see what's going on. Kyle M, Crave or Rapture? Which one was the Rapture again? Was the Rapture the little flip phone? I'd go Rapture. Crave, I really wanted to like, but I like the the Rapture because it does what it's supposed to do really well. Whereas the Crave, I think the Crave was really ambitious but didn't work all that well. Where was I on Wednesday? I had a meeting. Yeah, I had a meeting with some people about that phone that I thought I was going to be able to talk about today, but I wasn't able to talk about today. Where was I, though? I was at the Ferry Building in San Francisco. No, Nerdy Birdie, I got to look at the A77. I'm sorry. iApple, how's the X1? So I got the Sony Xperia X1 yesterday. Let me get the Peak out of there. Gadget of the year, my booty. Here's the Sony Xperia X1, and this is what I'll say about this device. If this device cost $299.99 on contract, I would really like it. It would be a tough call between this and the Fuse or the Touch Pro. I like the form factor of this device better than those. It's thinner, it's longer, and it's thinner. So for me, it's more pocketable. The arc slider action with the little curve there, it actually makes it pretty comfortable for typing on. It kind of angles the phone, and it gives you a nice place to rest your fingers while you're typing. The panels interface not as good as TouchFlow 3D. There's some kind of neat stuff. I downloaded the Facebook panel, and that was actually pretty cool. I'm going to do a whole video on this, so I won't get all into it, but I'll show you. We'll see, it's laggy though. I've been hitting the button. This is my thing with it. Two things. One is the price, $800 unlocked. Nobody's going to buy it. I mean, seriously, who's going to buy this thing? Second is that it's laggy. The panel's interface, I've been hitting the button. There it finally goes. And so here's the Facebook panel. And the Facebook panel is pretty cool. It's a unique spin on Facebook if it keeps me logged in. It's supposed to keep me logged in. Last time it didn't. It looks like it is loading up now. It works on AT&T's 3G. It doesn't work on T-Mobile. I got my T-Mobile SIM card on it right now, and it doesn't work on it. So it's only Edge. It's got the Wi-Fi also. But it's laggy. The software, it's frozen on me a couple times in the, I've had it for like, 15 hours, but for like 8 of those I was sleeping. I like the hardware. I like that it has a real headphone jack on it. But this phone should not cost $800. The camera seems nice. It's got this cool touchscreen-based focus system. This phone should be, see, it didn't even keep me logged in. It's got software issues. It's laggy. It's still Windows Mobile underneath. The media player interface is really nice. I like Sony Ericsson's, and there's a lot going for this, but it's got to be picked up on a carrier. It's got to be subsidized, or else people won't buy it. I don't know, maybe Let's Talk or Best Buy or one of those places will have it subsidized, and it'll be better. But the, as far as the actual experience goes, it's definitely, it's nice, but the hardware form factor is the best thing about it, not the whole panels interface and stuff. All right, so let's go. Hey, Chris RG, what's up? The price will drop on the, I don't think it'll drop, but I think they should get a carrier on it. Randall70, unlocked iPhone G1 or Behold. I would go unlocked iPhone. Rishaw Butler, yeah, laggy just like the Storm. I'm going to get, in a second after I answer some of your questions, I'm going to do Noah's Bark, and I'm going to talk to you about the Storm, because, oh, man. What carrier is that going to? Berthazar, it's not going to any carrier right now. It's only in the U.S. anyway. It's going to be available unlocked, direct from Sony. You can use it on AT&T, or you can use it on T-Mobile, but no carrier. James Mallory, no news on Windows 6.5, except that I did talk to a Windows Mobile rep recently who was excited about Windows Mobile 6.5. So yeah, it sounds like there's some interesting stuff coming up. So Nerdy Birdie, will AT&T pick the Sony Ericsson up? I hope so. Is it better than the Storm? Yeah, Apple, I would get the Xperia instead of the Storm because of the keyboard. The Storm's keyboard has really ticked me off. Is Omnia better than Delve? I haven't used the Delve, so I can't say, but oh, that's not a question, sorry. Will the HD work with T-Mo? Yeah, it'll work on Edge, I believe. When Samsung Omnia on Verizon? Very soon. From everything I know, very soon. Trade me for your phone. What phone do you have? VW Pro. What phone do you have? Has the Storm stopped at the issues, Chris RG? No, it hasn't. I've used it a lot more yesterday and this morning, and it's frustrating. Any new phones for Verizon? Storm just came out. Omnia should be coming out soon. The Touch Pro should be coming out fairly soon. Should you get the Eternity tomorrow, TJM, or wait till Macworld to see if there's a new iPhone? Why not wait? If you're not in a rush, why not wait? What carriers is Touch HD going to? None in the U.S. What T-Mobile phone is best on battery life and messaging? I don't know. Maybe the Sidekick. Behold versus Dell versus Eternity versus Omnia. Unless you want the mobile TV, I would say Omnia, because Omnia is a smartphone, and it'll have the most. You can actually customize it the most. And it has 3G and Wi-Fi. And I don't believe any of those other phones have both 3G and Wi-Fi. Any new AT&T phones? The LG Insight is new. I should be getting one next week, I was told. Omnia to Verizon, yes, very soon. Samsung T629, no thanks, not interested. I just had that one. Have I heard about how police had to break people up in New York because they were upset they couldn't get their Storm? No. I know that they don't have as many Storms as they were hoping to get because of some technical issues. But no, James, I didn't hear about that. Wow, I'll have to check that out. Any new AT&T phones? I just answered that. Beholder G1, I would get the G1 myself. What price Omnia? I think $249 after contract is what I'm hearing. Crave or Storm? Storm. Yeah. Because Storm, the thing with Storm, I'll get to this in a second, it's a good all-around phone. I think they'll fix the bugs with the new firmware. It's just the keyboard sucks. Will the iPhone 3G work on T-Mobile? Supposedly there's a SIM card unlock you can do. The 3G won't. It'll be Edge only. Any news for T-Mobile? No. I think everything they're releasing for the holidays is out. The Cameo Cowgirl Manicure, the Cameo picture frame has been released. There's rumors about the Curve 2 coming out before New Year's, but I don't think that's going to happen. Sidekick or G1? I'd go G1 because they're both bulky phones and the G1 can do a lot more. Beholder G1 on battery life and messaging. I don't know. Behold, I mean, with battery life, you know, for me, if I have to recharge it every night, that's fine. G1 will run down, but you recharge it, it should last you through the day. And it's better for messaging because it has an actual QWERTY board, and the Gmail integration is terrific if you use Gmail. It's just big. Sidekick or G1? G1. Wait, who said something about, oh, you ordered your Storm, okay. Have I heard of Quick? Yes, I have. I have not used it yet, but I have heard of it. Oh, my light's running out. I have not used it yet. Do I know if all Windows mobile phones support it? I don't think all of them do, no. Omnia or Eternity? Omnia, because it's a smartphone. Eternity's great, though. When's the firmware going to be out for the Storm? I don't know. There's a new firmware version kicking around, but they haven't officially released it. One interesting thing about the Storm is that most of these review phones, the official loaner period is like 2 weeks or 4 weeks. The Storm loaner period is a lot longer, and that makes me wonder if they're anticipating that there's a learning curve, anticipating firmware releases coming out. I'm going to have to check that out. Any new texting phones for Verizon before Christmas? I don't know. Juicerus 13, Husris, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I haven't heard anything except the Touch Pro coming out and the Omnia, but I would think, you know, you might want to have another Verizon texting phone. New Sprints, no. Fuse versus Bold versus Tilt, Bold. How would I fix the keyboard on the Storm? I would make it so you don't have to click to type. I think it's better without having to click. It doesn't click fast enough for me. And I also think the actual keys are a little, the way that it recognizes your key press, I just have to get used to it. It's a little funny. And the text prediction is not as good as the iPhone. The thing with iPhone's keyboard is that you still make a lot of typos, but the autocorrect software is really, really good. And it fixes most of your typos unless you're using a lot of, you know, made-up words like nicknames or that kind of stuff. On the Storm, the autocorrect software is not as good. Trio Pro coming to the States? I think so. Is the HTC Touch Pro for Sprint slow? It's a little bit laggy. It's not like horrifically slow, but it's a little bit laggy. What service has the coolest phones in my opinion? Overall, across the board, I think Verizon probably. Well, it's either Verizon or AT&T. I still think the coolest phone, even though I'm looking for a replacement for it, I think the iPhone 3G is the coolest all-around phone. There are certain features it doesn't have, which are annoying, which is what's making me want to switch. But in terms of cool, the experience on it is just better than anything else. AT&T now has the iPhone, the Bold, the Eternity, which are three, I think they're all really cool phones. Verizon, though, has the Storm, which has a bunch of issues, but it's still, you know, it's pretty cool to look at, definitely. And then they also have the Voyager and the Dare and some other phones, so yeah. The HTC MDA4. I don't know if I've heard about the MDA4. Have I tried settings to improve my typing? You know, I did. I changed them a little bit, but I should change them a little bit more. If you have any suggestions, NASA Racer, definitely hit me up with those. Bold or iPhone 3G? I personally would go Bold because I'm really missing the keyboard. I wish Bold's web browser. The Storm has a better web browser than Bold, so I wish if we could get the new OS with the better web browser on Bold, that would be awesome. All right, I'm gonna have to. What am I trying to say? I'm gonna have to wrap this up in a couple minutes. So Real quick, let's see. Widescreen shirt type on the Storm, that'd be interesting. Is the touch, I just answered that, Berthauser, the Touch Pro Sprint, is it slow? It's a little laggy, not super slow. Fuse or Epics? I would go Epics personally. I really like Epics. I like the form factor better. Oh, okay, you said thanks. You're welcome. How many people watched Phone.tv this week? I don't know, it was fewer, but we sort of did that on purpose so we could have the chat room a little more manageable. I'm not sure how many, I think it was about 120 or so, but I don't know. Why do I replace my iPhone? Because I really want an actual physical keyboard, and I also, I've gotten addicted to picture messaging recently. I'm tired of not being able to picture message. What am I going to switch to? I don't know yet. The bold's at the top of my list, but I'm not sure yet. Have I heard about the Asus phone? I have. I haven't had a hands-on with it, but I have heard about it. 3,000 people. Awesome. The red blinking light is causing you to seizure. Sorry, I can't do anything about that. Can a Verizon phone Sprint? No, well, technically I guess you could unlock it and bring it over, but it'd have to be unlocked. Tom is working on the Dell Video. Alto doesn't work where I am, but it works where Tom is. Do you get a flash drive with the Storm? Yeah, you get a 1 gig of internal memory, you get an 8 gig, thing. All right, so I'm going to get to the Bark now because I want to talk about this. So today's Bark is about it's about touchscreens and the Storm in particular in general. And here's the deal. I'm kind of riled up about this. Why can't somebody get this right already? iPhone came out, the original iPhone was announced almost 2 years ago now, and it came out about 1.5 years ago now, in June of whatever last year was, 2007, right? So iPhone still has the best touchscreen out there. Multi-touch, the actual hardware, the capacitive, it's durable, the software behind it, it's the best touchscreen out there. Since then, touchscreens have gotten better. A couple new capacitive touchscreen phones have come out, the HTC G1, most recently the BlackBerry Storm. Also, other touchscreens have gotten better. The new Samsungs are resistive touchscreens, but they're much better. The HTC Touch Pros are much better. The new Sony Ericsson Xperia X1 is a resistive touchscreen, much better than old touchscreens. But nobody can get it totally right. And what I mean by that, this includes Apple. Apple, release a landscape mode, a widescreen keyboard already. What's the deal? Why can't you just do that already? It would make the iPhone so much better. You don't have to use it. If you like the straight up and down one, you can. But a lot of people I know who got the iPhone 3G, that's their biggest complaint, is that typing's harder than it should be. But then they're like, oh, I can enter a web address in widescreen mode, and that keyboard's so much easier. Just make it work already. Put it in email, put it in SMS, make the gosh darn MMS work already without a hack. Just, what's the deal? Either that or release an iPhone Pro that has a slide-out hardware keyboard, and I know that'll probably never happen, but do that already. RIM. If you're going to bother with making this whole newfangled system where you've got this screen that actually moves around and everything, get it right before you release it. For my money, the keyboard just doesn't work that well. It doesn't add to the experience. It would be easier, I think, to just type on this without the darn thing clicking up and down. Some people might disagree, and I would really like to know, anybody who's actually used the Storm for more than 20 seconds. If you played with one, if you bought one, if you have one, tell me if you think I'm crazy, because it might just be me. It might just be my quirks. But I just think this thing, as it is right now, and what's frustrating about it is that otherwise it's actually a pretty good phone. The screen is really beautiful. It lags, there are issues, but they'll fix that with a firmware update. The BlackBerry email system's awesome. Verizon's network is awesome. The 3G data is awesome. The browser works well. It's the best BlackBerry browser out there yet. 3-megapixel camera with a flash. It's got a lot going for it. No Wi-Fi, which is a drag, but I understand the business reasons. I don't agree, but I understand. But the whole keyboard thing, at least let me turn the clicking off and let me just type on it without having to, suffer for the fact that because I move my thumbs up and down faster than the screen can go, I'd rather use the screen. Also, when I talk on it, my face clicks against the screen and it turns speakerphone on when I didn't want it to and it muted when I didn't want it to. And I'm sure there's a setting to turn that off. I just haven't found it yet. But on the iPhone, out of the box, the proximity sensor turns that stuff off when you're talking. So, RIM, Verizon, you should have had that in here before you released it. Also, the supply chain, if people really were fighting in New York City because they couldn't get one, that's unacceptable as well. Sony Ericsson, Xperia X1, $800? Are you kidding? Seriously, get hooked up with a carrier, sell this thing for $2.99 on contract or even less, and you'd have yourself a solid Windows Mobile smartphone. It would address shortcomings that people like me that get all fanatic about certain things have with the Fuse and the Touch Pro. It has an actual headphone jack, it's thinner, it's a really nice form factor, but seriously, come on. I'm sick and tired of all of these devices that are almost there, but not quite. Kudos to Samsung, frankly. I think Samsung's menus, they need some refinement. They're not as cool as they could be. But kudos to them for working on the touchscreen thing. And I think they've got it as right as anybody, them and HTC. Their touchscreens are touchscreens. They vibrate sometimes. They're basic, but they work. You type on them and things happen. They're not perfect, but they work. I don't know. I don't know why nobody can get it. Why Apple is the only one who's made, the super touchscreen. The G1 has a really good touchscreen. I don't know why all these flawed things keep coming out. Like, slow down. Take a breath. Don't release 55 new phones for the holidays. Release 4 and make them work. Release a basic flip. Release a slider feature phone. Release a messaging phone with a keyboard, and then release a tricked out high-end smartphone with everything. And make them all work really well before you get them out. Got that out of my system. All right, we got like a minute or two left. What else? All right, well, I'm not going to back up through the chat room, so there you go. I think that's it for the Bark for today. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. Sorry we weren't able to talk about that one phone, but, I got to listen to Powers That Be. What's up, Amir? Cowgirl, no, I'm off for the weekend. You see a vein shuttle. I know. I've been riled up because I wanted the storm to be awesome, and I'm disappointed. I was so psyched about it, but I'm disappointed. Scratch, I talked about the GSM Omnia. You can check that out on the YouTube channel. But, yeah, Randall, good advice, man. Harletrick, see ya. Nicoloso, see ya. Rishaw, see ya. Everybody, have an awesome weekend. I'll be back on Monday. And Phonedog TV might actually be on Tuesday next week because of the holidays. Because Wednesday night I'm going to be baking a pie. We got to check on that, but I will let you guys know. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's GadgetDog Daily with me, Noah from Phonedog.com. We'll see ya. Bye. Everybody have a good weekend, too. Thanks for saying that. Be nice to your friends. Do something nice for a stranger. Oh, air drums. Air drums. Oops.